Hi there, if you're editing a video in DaVinci Resolve and you have people talking, there's some fantastic ways to make the dialogue stand out by using EQ. That's what I'm going to share with you in this video. Before we get stuck into DaVinci Resolve, let's have a quick recap about frequencies. Frequencies are measured in hertz or thousands of hertz, kilohertz. Lower numbers are lower frequencies like the bass drum in a music track, and higher frequencies or higher numbers are things like a person screaming or a high-pitched whistle. You use an EQ tool to either lower the volume of a set range of frequencies or increase the volume of a set range of frequencies. Human beings can hear frequency ranges anywhere from 20 Hz at the low end to 20 kHz at the high end. And you can think of this frequency range as being divided into three main sections. You've got bass frequencies, somewhere in the 50 to 250 Hz range. You've got mid-range frequencies, anywhere from 250 Hz to 2.3 kHz. And the high frequency range extends from 2.5 kHz all the way up to 20 kHz. The fundamental frequency, or the lowest key frequency of human voice, varies. In men, the fundamental frequency is somewhere between 80 and 160 Hz. In women, it's between 165 and 255 Hz. And in children, it's anywhere from 250 to 300 Hz, generally speaking. You'll want to pay particular attention to these frequency ranges when you're working with EQ. When it comes to using EQ to make dialogue sound better, we want to lower the volume of frequencies that make the talking sound less clear and increase the volume of frequencies that increase the clarity of the person talking. Let's head into DaVinci Resolve and we'll see how to use the EQ tool on a piece of dialogue. Okay, so here we've got a piece of dialogue. Small to big method is exactly what it sounds. This is just me talking. To open up the EQ tool in DaVinci Resolve, come over to the track here and double click on the square for the track you want to edit. In this case, it's the voice track. Double click here to open up the EQ tool. This EQ tool has 6 bands from band 1 to band 6. We can turn these bands off individually. And essentially we're going to use the EQ tool to increase the volume of specific frequencies or decrease the volume of specific frequencies. On the left here we've got 20 Hz and on the right here we've got 20 kHz. So this represents the entire range of human hearing. We'll just reset this. The first thing we can do is we can make sure this band 1 is turned on by clicking the band 1 button, and then we can use this dial to alter the frequency. Notice the shape of this curve. It's telling us it's going to reduce the volume of frequencies that are less than the value we set here. So because we learned earlier that the lowest fundamental frequency for male voice is 80, we're going to set this to 80, and essentially this is going to reduce the volume of sounds that have a frequency of 80 or less. That's going to cut out some of the unnecessary data that the human voice doesn't even produce. Generally speaking, if you're working with a female voice, you could set that higher, or a child's voice even higher. Because I'm working with male dialogue here, I'm going to set this to 80. I'm also going to disable all of these other bands for now. It's actually really useful to be able to visualize what frequencies are in the dialogue that we want to add EQ for. I'll show you a really great way to do that. What you need to do on the dialogue track that you're working with EQ on, come up to the effects button here and click plus. Come down to the metering submenu and then choose frequency analyzer. It's going to bring up this window. Now watch what happens if we play back some of this track. Small to big or broad and then it's giving us the range of frequencies and the volume of those frequencies. Just going to play this back. You can see that most of the frequency range is anywhere from 100 to about 800 for my voice here. So now we know that, we can close this frequency analyzer and come back to our EQ. Notice that we've got this slight rise just after this reduction. What I'm going to do is turn on band 2, and I'm just going to use the gain here just to flatten out that curve a bit, just so we're not accidentally boosting any of these lower frequencies at this point. Next, we're going to turn on band 3, and we're going to increase the volume of a band of frequencies. You can do this by dragging this up, or you can use the gain control here. It does the same thing. And if you want to change the width of this peak, you can use the Q factor. What I'm going to do is just set a gain of plus 10 here, and in a second I'm going to play back the audio, and I'm just going to move the frequency left and right in that 100 to 800 range. By doing this, I'm going to be able to listen to the sound, and I'm going to be able to work out whether increasing or decreasing that frequency is going to make the audio or my voice sound better or worse. We're going to start off by sweeping it with plus 10 gain to listen to the increase in those frequencies. Then we're going to switch it. We're going to turn this down to negative 10 gain, and then once again sweep between 80 and 800 and just listen to see whether we're going to make the audio sound better or worse. This is called sweeping the frequencies, and while you're doing this you want to listen out for any annoying vocal noises that might be increased if you choose a positive gain. Okay, so let's go and do this. One video a week on a super niche subject until a bigger vision evolves out of it. You're paralyzed by the fear of failure, maybe. Boom is what Arnold describes his approach was. So to my ears that sounds a bit better when we actually reduce the frequencies within this 80 to 800 band, about this 597 Hz frequency. I didn't really like the sound of boosting this frequency range. If you choose to reduce the volume in this range, you just want to make sure that you're not making the voice sound a bit lifeless or dull. Once you've decided whether you want to increase or decrease the volume of these frequencies, you can then reduce the gain to something more natural sounding. Generally, this is anywhere from 1 to 3 decibels, negative or positive. Normally, you want to be careful of going over plus 3 decibel gain or negative 3 decibel reduction, as it can start to make things sound a bit unnatural. The next thing we're going to do is try and add some brightness or vocal clarity. We're going to start off by turning on band 4 here. We're going to increase the volume. Once again, we're going to start with plus 10 just so we can hear what's going on. And then what we're going to do is play back in a second, and we're going to sweep the frequencies from around 3 kHz all the way up to about 12. Notice I can't go to 12 kHz here, I can only go to 8 kHz. To go higher, you can choose this H button here, and now we can go all the way up to 22 kHz and all the way down to 1 kHz. So we're going to start at about 3 kHz here. I'm going to keep playing this vocal back until I start to hear the sibilants get worse. Sibilants is those S sounds that you can hear like S, and boosting certain frequencies will make sibilants worse. Also, some people's voices have more or less sibilants than others. Alright, so I'm going to start playing this back and we'll listen out, and we're going to increase the frequency until we start to hear bad sibilants. Arnold suggests that there's two approaches to creating a clear vision: small to big, or broad and then zoom. So I think my sibilant starts to get worse about the 5600 Hz range, or 5.6 kHz. Once you've found the point at where sibilance gets worse, you're going to keep playing back, and then you're going to reduce the frequency until that increased sibilance goes away. So we'll just go and do that. Small to big, or broad and then zoom. So somewhere about the 3.2 kHz frequency is where that sibilance starts to get a bit less noticeable. Once you've found this point, you want to lower the gain to anywhere between +1 to +3. Let's start at +3 and have a listen to this. Approaches to creating a clear vision. You can reduce it a little bit. Two approaches to creating a clear vision. And I'm just going to tweak this frequency, just lower it a little bit, just so we're not getting quite as much sibilance. Arnold suggests that there's two approaches to... Again, it's a little bit too bright, so I'm going to reduce this gain all the way down to +1 and have a listen. Arnold suggests that there's two approaches to... One thing to bear in mind is that you can't just copy these values exactly. You're going to have to listen for each individual voice, because everyone has a slightly different range of frequencies and slightly different sounding voices. Let's have a listen to this with the EQ on and then off. Just going to play this back, and while it's playing, I'm going to toggle the EQ on and off using this toggle. Small to big method is exactly what it sounds like. Just create a small vision to get you started. Maybe this is to make one video a week on a super niche subject. There's a lot more that goes into working with EQ, especially on people's voices, and there's specific frequencies that allow you to fix specific problems or add more clarity to people talking. That will make this video really long, so I go into more details in my Fairlight course. Click the first link in the video description or scan this QR code to learn more. Alright, back to the video. One rule of thumb is that when you're boosting frequencies, you want to use a wider curve here. So you can see in band 3, this Q factor is 1.6. If I change this, notice how the curve gets narrower and narrower. And as I change this Q factor back the other way, the curve gets wider. Just remember, cutting frequencies use a narrow curve, boosting frequencies use a wider curve. There's also other uses for EQ, such as carving out frequencies in music tracks to allow the vocals to shine through more. Using EQ on dialogue tracks is just one tool to make that dialogue sound really great. The other one is to use compression to rein in the dynamic range and just make things sound overall more balanced. That's what you'll learn about in this next video, and the combination of EQ and compression gets you about 99% of the way there usually. I'm Jason Roberts, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.